following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
It's your girl, Nique Crew.
CL Butler.
And your boy, Yusuf in the building.
And the crew would like to thank you all for listening and a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Happy Thanksgiving.
What's going on, family? This is James Peteet of the Couple Up card game that you can grab at coupleupgame.com. Shout out to Yusuf, CL, Nique from the Relationship Status Podcast, where we talked about how to know when you found the one, my life as a law librarian, and popping the question. And Yusuf, you need to try that Mombo Sauce and stop playing.
Welcome back to Relationship Status. It's your girl, Nique Crew.
CL Butler.
And your boy, Yusuf in the building. And remember, you can catch this show on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, DefyLifePods.com, and everywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. Big Nique in the building, Nique. How was the week?
Why you call me big?
Because you got taller.
Yeah, because you got taller.
No.
Last time we saw you.
Don't fix it for him.
You did. You got taller. You got taller since the last time. Like, you a little bit stronger in you. Like, I don't know if you're sitting in some books over there, but
could be the hair.
Could be. Big hair, don't care.
Big hair. Wow.
You know what?
What's that?
Y'all just,
What's that new color? Auburn.
That looks like Auburn.
That's Auburn.
No, actually, it's a blonde.
That is not blonde.
It was going into blonde. I'm transitioning.
Oh, you're transitioning. Wow.
See, I think that's that woman.
Transition.
That's
right
that
in front
woman
of us.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's a honey blonde.
It's a honey. Now we got the honey blonde.
Yeah,
like,
strawberry honey blonde.
Are we going to add another something to it? Because it went from blonde to honey blonde to strawberry honey blonde.
But it's blonde. Y'all say it's not.
Oh, it's all the same?
It's all the same. It's all blonde. So I walk in there and say, hey, I want that blonde. Or do I go out and want that strawberry honey blonde?
Yeah, you got to be more.
Okay, got to be real specific.
Yeah.
See, how was your week, man?
Great.
That's
Great.
it.
It's always that.
Great.
For CL, it's always
no complaints. I just have problems that need solutions. That's it.
Gotcha.
So
How was your week?
Mine was straight, man. I enjoyed it, man.
Enjoyed it.
Had some very happy days.
You're back.
Always back, man.
Okay.
Back like cook. What is it? Back like cook crack.
Like cook crack.
Oh, wow.
Crack. Okay.
I'm back, you wallin'.
We can get into that. Now. That's something we'll talk about. We talk about the cocaine prices.
Hey, they said they going up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Somebody
The way
just
life
lost
goes sometimes.
a bunch of keys, 120 keys.
Yeah, I saw that on the. Well, they talked about it on another show I was listening to.
Nique, price is going up. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why you
Get
looking at
that
me?
blue magic, Nique.
Get that blue magic.
No, I don't have to touch stuff like that.
You don't.
No.
Okay, I didn't know we was gonna have random drug talk today.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I'm excited.
Nique got that tooting that powder.
Wow.
What? Whoa! No.
Because it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Shout out to Be Easy. But
Nothing to be ashamed of. If I liked cocaine, I would not be ashamed to say I use cocaine. I just don't like it.
Okay. I mean, I'm
anyway,
to each his own.
Moving on.
To each his own.
Yeah, to each his own.
But
To each his own.
see, we got a special guest on today.
We do. Mr. James Peteet. He is the inventor of the Couples Up card game, bringing couples together all up and down the East Coast.
All up and down the East Coast.
James, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, glad to have you on Relationship Status today.
Thank you for bringing me on. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How was the weather in D.C.?
It's cool so far. It's a little chilly. Not as windy as it has been the past couple of weeks, but we're going to make it through. We're used to this. You know?
Okay. Is it ACG weather?
Or Tim's?
No, they don't really do Tim's in D.C. They do ACGs, right?
Nah, that's a New York thing. Up here we wear New Balances a lot.
New Balances?
New Balance.
Yeah, New Balances.
Yeah,
Wow.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I haven't heard about that since I was in high school.
Yeah, New Balance is okay.
Oh, y'all missing out then.
We're missing out.
Oh, wow. We're missing out.
Yes, extremely comfortable.
Extremely.
That's what you
Okay.
Yes.
I think I've had one pair of New Balances in my entire life.
I've
Me
had
too.
2 pair.
They were navy blue.
I did too. There was gray and navy blue.
The navy blue with the white end.
Okay. Wow.
They didn't last too long.
Well, James, tell us a little about the game here. Tell us your backstory about the game. Just how did it come about? What was the original inspiration for the game?
So the original inspiration it's kind of weird, right? So I'm normally afraid of conversation, like having those tough ones, but my girlfriend is great at it. Like she's here for the conversation and whatever may come of it. Okay. And so I realized I had to get a little better at that. Mm-hmm. And so since I'm a little nervous about it, I said, let me make it into a game, right? Where it's not really me asking the question. I could be like, well, the card told me to ask you X, Y, and Z. A little corny way of getting around it, but that was the thought around it, right?
Okay.
So I put down all the questions that I think it would be good for me to know about her and vice versa. Because we do plan on building a future together. Hence the reason why we're still together, of course.
Whoa, James. We're recording this now.
And that's how things started. Yeah, of course.
Okay, be easy now. Don't tilt your hand now.
Look. No, we already know what it is.
It's our first proposal on air?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I was going to say, go ahead, proceed.
She wouldn't have that. Look, we talked about that too. I got to give her a movie proposal. Like,
okay. She want the movie proposal.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
No, we can talk about that in a minute. But that was the whole point. I wanted to see like how much we knew about each other, what more conversations we had to have to be able to grow and see what our differences are, morals and values, see how they weigh against each other. And I think more people should do that because, especially my generation, millennials, who were born in the later 80s to 95 or whatever people say.
Okay.
We much rather text or go through a third party to figure out, does he or she like me or what they think about this, instead of just going to the person and saying, hey, this is what I want to know about you. Let's have that talk because I'm trying to have a long-term relationship with you. So let's get this out of the way.
Okay.
And I think the same could be with even just friends. Friends are just a different. It's still a relationship at the end of the day. It's not romantic, of course, but you still got to have. You still want to align yourself with people that are like-minded in a sense. We're not deviating off where you see your friendship going. Like it's supposed to be going in a positive manner, but if you're never talking about certain things that are important to you, then you'll never know where the friendship is going or relationship in general.
Okay, so you're bringing people together.
Basically, one question at a time. That's the motto of the game.
Oh,
okay. He's opened up
dope
dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really dope motto.
That is.
I like that. Opening up conversation.
Right. Because we just don't have them.
So, all right. So, like, when the winner, let's say, how do you get to that? Like, is it the people that know each other the best, or is it like, how does it kind of get to a point of deciding who actually won?
Right. So on the score sheet, you see it's 10 empty spaces. Mm-hmm. So basically it's teams of however many, but each team has to be at least 2 people, of course. So each person is going to get to ask 5 questions and each person is going to get to answer 5 questions. So whichever team has the most points at the end of that is the one that wins the game. Generally, which is so ironic, most of the games that I've witnessed end up being very low scoring because a lot of people don't really know people like they say they do. Like they may know their favorite X, Y, and Z, and that's cool. And I got a category in there like that. But knowing what people will do in certain situations is really what I care about overall because that requires really in-depth knowledge of the person. But that's how you win the game, though. Whatever team has the most points at the end of the game by answering 5 questions, they're the ones that wins the game. But normally people that have been together the longest, most of the time they win the game for real because they have a longer time spent together. But some younger couples have definitely surprised me with how much they know about each other.
So basically you start a bunch of arguments.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, right? I mean, it's only been one argument that I've witnessed, and it was between an older couple. But again, it was also because of perception.
Okay.
One person saw it one way, the other one was like, well, you never told me that. He's like, well, you never asked me. So it wasn't an argument per se. It was more of a heated discussion.
It was a heated discussion.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Out here opening up that dialogue and causing breakups sometimes. You know what I mean?
Look. If you break up over this game, then it ain't my game that caused it. You was probably waiting for it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Don't blame my game. Don't blame my game for that.
Hey, okay.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, what kind of scores do you and your girlfriend get?
So
since y'all are the originators and it's based upon you all some way.
So, like I said, I'm the originator, but she also helped me with a lot of the questions. But there are some questions I didn't let her see because when we played it for the very first time, I wanted to be like genuine. I didn't want us to really talk about those things. So we first played the completed game. I think we had like 8 or 9 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that about average?
Really, shoot, honestly, yes, it is. Actually, it is. No, when I think about it, it is around that. Very few people, except for like the ones that have been together for a long time, really get the double digits because the points. It's only 1, 2, and 3. Each card has either one of those 3 numbers. So we're not looking for no 20, 30 points or anything. But yeah, we got a pretty average score. But it was funny with her not knowing what the questions were. She was kind of on edge, like, I hope I know this about him. She don't get mad if I don't know it. I'm like, no, it's a learning experience. Like, I got a lot wrong. She got some wrong. We laughed about it. And again, we see how we just had different perspectives on things.
Okay.
I want to go back to the last episode of Relationship Status, which I don't know when you recorded, but the last one you talking about dating.
Dating.
And exactly what is it? Yeah, we just had that conversation, 2-3 days ago?
Well, I'm glad to hear you listen.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, okay.
It'd be disrespectful if I didn't.
Okay.
But what I thought was dating, she considered just talking.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, so we was talking for a pretty long time, don't you think? She was like, well, yeah, we got to fill each other out. I'm like, look, I ain't need that much time. Like, I already knew I liked you.
So the important question is, what date did you start going with her?
So I would say I started going with her like December.
Okay. And what would she say?
2017. She's going to say, February, like the day I actually asked her out.
See?
Okay.
She'll probably say. But we've been hanging out with each other even prior to December, like, going out to eat and stuff with mutual friends and stuff like that. We were already hanging out. But I think the first time I took her out and I paid, I'm like, all right, we dating.
Oh,
what's he paying? We're dating. Gotcha.
I definitely paid. And it was a movie. We went and saw, 50 Shades, the second movie?
50,
yeah, that thing.
Okay. So you all were going Dutch? Is that what you were saying?
No, so I paid for it.
But that's the first time, right? So
right.
So to let her know if you liked her or not, you didn't just offer to pay for her food in the mutual settings?
Nah.
Okay. So you was being coy.
Yes, very.
So y'all were just talking. Hanging out, getting to know each other.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go with that. Yeah, we getting to know each other.
Okay.
See, I told y'all. James, you just proved my point.
It's subjective. I think
you have to be very specific about whether or not you want me to date you or be your girlfriend.
Well, women aren't specific.
Yes, we are.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
no, they're not.
No, they're not.
Y'all say that y'all are.
Yeah, I think you believe
like to
you are.
That.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
once again, I'm back into a corner.
I would agree. She's outnumbered today.
Yeah.
Right.
The backup isn't here.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Well, James, from start to finish, how long did it take you to complete the process of creating the game, submitting the game, having it manufactured, and to your first sale? Like, what kind of timeline is that?
Too long. Okay, so originally the concept came around with November 2017, and I just sat on it because I'm like, no one even plays card games anymore. Like, this is a waste of time. But in my head, I'm like, this might work, might not. So I went back and forth with it.
Okay.
Made some prototypes, had people play it, and they gave me good reviews back. So I officially went into making it a real game in like the summertime.
So that's what,
and then
summer,
about
June?
7 months.
Yeah, June, yep.
Okay. Okay.
So about 7 months, I really started to get into production of it with the play testing and all that. And once I realized, like, I have a solid concept, this game is dope, people going to love it, I'm going to bring people together, we're going to rock and roll with this.
Okay.
About, I want to say June, July, August. So about September, I believe, I started a crowdfunding campaign. Through Indiegogo. Yes, because I didn't have the capital to purchase the amount of games that I wanted. So I just had people, they weren't really like donating, they were giving me money to actually purchase the game. So they were getting an order.
Okay, so they pre-order.
Yeah, basically it's a pre-order, and I'm using their money to fund it.
Oh, wow.
And of course, my parents helped me immensely. Mom, dad, brother, the whole nine. Everybody's a family thing. So Now the games have been out for about three months now, probably.
Oh, so it's really new.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very new, and it almost didn't happen because I'm a Gemini, right? And people say we have two sides, whatever. So I had this really like gun ho. I'm gonna go for it, shoot for the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other side, I'm like, bro, no one's gonna like this. Like, don't do it. Don't waste your money. So
that's self-doubt.
Yes, all the time. And luckily, I have great people behind me, like my girlfriend, of course, my closest friends and family that kept saying, bro, just do it. You're going to regret it if you don't. And just see where it goes. So we still here, and I'm just trying to get the word out for people to just get the game and enjoy it. Enjoy the conversation that comes from it.
Well, we're glad to have your game here. Could you tell people how to purchase this game?
Absolutely. So you can purchase the game at coupleupgame.com. So COUPLEUP game.com. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at Couple Up Card Game. And the Facebook page is just simply Couple Up. The only page on there.
Only page on there.
Only page. Very different.
So we have to go help support this young entrepreneur.
Yeah, we got to go ahead.
Great gift for the holidays.
That's a great gift for a couple for the holidays. That is a good gift.
Yeah. And I'm creating a Christmas box as we speak. I'm getting with some people saying what all would go well inside the box and how to decorate and stuff, make it look really festive.
Okay.
Well, I have some ideas for you. Could you do like one side Hanukkah, one side Kwanzaa, one side Christmas? Because you know you have to be all inclusive now.
Yeah, you definitely do. Yeah, definitely gotta be careful what you put in. Don't want to offend anyone and all that. I get it.
Yeah,
just say happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holiday. Oh, you do a multi-racial Santa on each side.
Yeah. No, and
I'm not.
You got to have a female Santa.
You got to have a female Santa too,
because you can't leave them out.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, can't leave the women out.
And then you got to have one that's a really no color.
Yeah,
but a color.
Oh Lord!
Yeah,
and then one that doesn't have a gender.
Yeah. So you're gonna have a big box.
James, just say happy holidays.
I know. See, now I'm rocking with the sister. See, we here.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, but I do got a question. From start to finish, let's say I know there's a lot of people that have couples night and they invite people over and have. So from start to finish, how long does it usually take? An average time from the beginning of the game to the end? If somebody wanted to make this a part of their couple's evening.
Yeah, really not long. So most times when people have played it, it's been about 4 couples that play the game at once. So 8 people total. It normally doesn't last more than 30 to 45 minutes. And they don't even get through all the cards. There's 120 cards in there.
Yeah. It's
120. You're not going to get through all these questions at once. And some people, they'll pick a card and be like, oh, nah, I ain't answering this one. Let's do it.
Wow.
And I'd be like, nope, stop playing. But yeah, you can definitely play it more than once, and we have expansion packs coming out.
Oh, that's what's
people
up.
Can add, definitely. Family packs.
Okay, so is this like PG-13 or what is it?
Is it rated R?
Nothing.
PG?
Well, here's the thing. I'm glad you asked that. So,
okay, you can have different versions.
Absolutely. See, so the original version is just like say 120 cards, very PG, nothing explicit or anything. But for my grown folk, I got the sexual healing pack that's coming out.
Sexual healing pack. Wow.
Sexual healing. Yeah.
I was about to break out in song.
Right. Yeah. You already know. Yeah. Good man, Marvin.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So we working on that. That'll be 18 questions. 4 from each category, and then 2 bonus card questions.
So you would just take those and put those with the rest of the deck, basically.
Yep.
Oh, that's
exactly. You just keep adding because the box holds it to 300 cards.
Oh,
that's marketing genius.
I'll give you all the space in the world.
Oh wow! So okay? So expansion packs. How soon before we
could get that rated R version?
Marcus. Oh, rated R version.
Yeah,
okay.
Right. The rated R version is definitely going to be here before Christmas. I'm definitely going to put it all over social media when they come in. Once I finish developing the 18 questions that I want. And then of course talk to the production company and they send them all over. Like the thing that takes forever for this game is me thinking of the right questions, because then I don't want any like cheesy questions. I want them to all have a meaning. So as you're playing this game, I want you to think about, why did he ask this question? Why should I care about this? What is this going to tell me about myself and my partner? Because in and of itself, the game is very self-reflective because a lot of people don't know the things about themselves. So you're going to sit there for a minute like, dang, like, I don't know. What would I do in this situation? Or what do I spend most of my money on? And stuff like that.
Wow.
So the packs will be here before December, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, before Christmas, rather.
Well, that's awesome, James. Now we're gonna we're gonna start to transition. We're gonna get a little personal with you because me and you have had several conversations this week.
We did.
And I like you to tell our listeners and my co-host here your job because I found it very interesting.
Right. So I work in the County Correctional Center here, Prince George's County, Maryland. Okay. I'm a law librarian.
Law librarian.
So yes, a law librarian, absolutely.
That's in the penal system, correct?
Say again.
That's in the penal system, correct?
Yes, yep, the good old criminal justice system, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I do essentially is assist the inmates with understanding the law in Maryland and how it pertains to their case. So I give them their docket sheets, all their court dates and all the stuff that's going on within their case. I help them understand what the prosecutor can and cannot do, what the judge can and cannot do. And like I said, just help them understand how the system works. Not necessarily give them advice because I'm not an attorney and I can't do that.
Okay.
But I try to make them as comfortable as possible with understanding what can happen regarding their case.
Wow. That's a very interesting job to have.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
Do you end up getting emotionally tied to these, to the inmates?
I try not to, but over time, as you spend time with these guys and ladies, you do somewhat grow some kind of attachment to them.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least their situation, because obviously everyone is not guilty. They're not in there for the right, or they shouldn't be in there rather. And once you sit through their cases, you understand all the evidence that comes out. You get kind of sad for them. But I got to understand whether they get sent up the road to the actual prison or whether they go home, they're still people at the end of the day. And I must treat them as such. And what I see a lot of times, not with the COs in our jail, because the COs in our jail do a great job. But when I see people outside, how they treat these guys because they now have the felon label on them, it just kind of disgusts me sometimes because a lot of it's not their fault. It's a lot of systemic issues that are going on that landed them in that place in the first place.
Okay.
So, but to answer, I could go on the whole rant, but long story short, I do get tired sometimes, but I got to remember that it is a job and I can't get too connected to the guys and the ladies.
Oh, it's men and women in your prison. Is it jail or prison?
It's jail.
It's
so jail is the first place. Yeah, 90+% of our detainees are pretrial. So they haven't been sentenced yet.
Okay.
Once they do get sentenced, they'll go to one of the prisons, like Jessup or something like that.
Okay.
I got a question about that. So, average time a person stays in pretrial. What would be an average time a person would stay in hold? Because it's pretty much in essence holding, correct?
Yeah, just in holding basically. The average probably about 18 months.
18
you can
months.
be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about 18 months you can be in their pretrial before your date is actually set.
Yeah, I know somebody someone who's been there pretrial for it's going on 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's very, very positive. You can have missed trials. A lot of things. A lot of guys do is they'll think that their attorney's not doing the right job, so they'll try to fire their attorney, and that in essence starts your clock all over again. So you're going to be in there much longer because now this new attorney has to figure out, all right, what's the ins and outs of this case? How can I fight it? So I just try to warn guys, like, before you do this, make sure you understand the state will now reset your clock. Your Hicks day rather.
Oh, so basically it resets. So if they're gonna count this as time served towards your sentence, if you change attorney, that changes that clock.
Well, no, they can still give you time served, but it's still longer that you're going to be in jail instead of getting on with your case. It's like you're starting your case all over again.
Okay.
If you fire your attorney.
Okay, it's like
and I just
starting from square one.
Yeah, basically. And I just try to tell guys, like, I can't advise you. I just say, just think about it before you do this. Like, your trial is literally in a week. Like, do you want to have to wait another 6 months for things to get rolling? So I just had them think about that.
All right. Well, how'd you get into this field?
So I, again, work for the Prince George's County Memorial Library System, and I worked in a branch in District Heights, the city out here. And when I realized that we had a contract with the jail, I just waited for this older lady to leave, and I instantly jumped at it because I have a major in criminal justice from Delaware State University.
Okay. Is
And
that the Blue Hens?
No, absolutely not.
No, that's Delaware. That's the other Delaware. Okay, what are y'all?
We the Hornets.
The Hornets.
Okay.
Hornets, yeah, exactly. Blue Hens out here. But shout out to UD though.
I'm going to be real black in a second. I'm going to be real black in a second. My homeboy played football for them.
Oh wow,
Davon Boyd.
For Dale State?
Yeah, for Dell State, Davon Boyd. You know, that's what black
Probably
people do.
Don't.
You know?
No, that's a fact. Nah, honestly, if they weren't in the band, I don't know them. They were in the band all 4 years, so if they weren't in the band, I probably don't know.
So you got some musical talent as well.
Yeah, I do a couple things. Just a couple.
Okay.
All around.
Yeah, I try to be.
So the criminal justice degree led you into being a law librarian.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and because I was really fascinated. I don't know, it might be kind of weird, but I've always been fascinated as to why people commit crime or just why they do the things that they do. And I figure if I can get into jail, I get to, like, in a sense, interview and help the inmates at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I found out what I actually did, I'm like, okay, it's a little different, but I still had the chance to, talk to these guys and get their perspectives on things. And hopefully I can be a part that can maybe change the jail for the better for the inmates, so that they can be better rehabilitated when they get out.
That's what's up.
Wow. Now this is a you can answer this question anyway. Kind of, it's going to vary in answers. I'm not even sure the direction of the question, but how do most of the inmates' relationships affect how or why they're in jail?
The relationships affect why they're in jail.
Yeah, is it a lot of, I hate to say, I don't want to say single mother, single father, but maybe people who don't have a parent, or is it a lot of two parent, or is it just a lot of, kids who've been passed around?
That's definitely a case with, of course, just the ones that I've spoken to that are willing to open up themselves to me. A lot of them say they're raised by single mothers. A lot of them say they're raised by their grandparents. As far as the kids, because we also have juveniles in there as well.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So they're in a completely separate unit. They don't have any kind of contact with the grown men and the grown women. They're completely separate part of the jail.
Do they come to the law library as well?
No, I wish they did. I'm honestly not sure why they don't, but I do go to the unit sometimes and just talk to the guys. If I see them and pass me in the hallway, I'll just chat with them for a second. But the juveniles, a lot of them do it for street cred, as they say, or because they want to be popular around their crew or whatever, which I always tell them, look, your homeboy is not going to support your family while you're out, or he's not going to...
He's not going to support you while you're in either.
Yeah, while you in, while you're in, like all that stuff is stupid. I try to tell them, like, the most blunt way that I can, but sometimes it just doesn't get to them because they're raised on that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Even some of the older guys, a lot of the older dudes, they're so institutionalized, they brag about going to different jails in the state. They'll say, Anne Arundel got this good food, or St. Mary's got this. And I'm like, what is up with y'all? Why do y'all, why is this a tale? Like, they would write books on this stuff if they could.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, this is not good, yo.
So the Cavs have 5-star and 3-star rankings and Michelin rankings and all that stuff.
Yeah. If you ask them, they will tell you everything about every jail in the state of Maryland. But definitely relationships have to play a part in it because I believe you are a product of your environment. And that's not to say that every person that grows up in a bad environment ends up being a bad member of society, because people can always change their ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have some kind of interjection of a good mentor and a role model, then that person will never know anything other than what they see every day. So just based off the conversations that I've had with them, a lot of them say single mothers, raised by grandparents, some basically raised themselves. Like when you hear about it. And then, of course, you got the guys that are just thrill seekers. Just want to see if they can get away with it, which is, I mean, I guess I understand. But once you're like 55, 60, you're like, bro, you still robbing people? Like, what's going on?
Well,
like, it's not old by now.
I have a question with the women. Are a lot of the women in due to relationships they have been in?
A lot of the women are in there for domestic violence type situations.
Okay.
They
also have cards.
So they were the aggressor?
I can't say for sure whether they were aggressive or not, but it is on their docket sheet. So it could be a he say, she say, and the officers take both of them. Let the court decide type thing.
They take both of them now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, both. Yeah, whoever called, if you can't decide, we'll let the judge decide.
Yeah, they take both of them if you call.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. We got robbery. Not a lot of prostitution. This specifically in the jail that I work at, of course. We have some prostitution, not a whole lot. We got some robbery, but not a whole lot of the super crazy, like, of course, murder or something like that. Not a whole bunch of those. But overall, we have every type of crime you can think of. Like, they're in the jail. There's no one crime that's bigger than the other, I would say.
Okay, well, question, more of a, I guess, about you kind of question, dealing in that particular situation. We talked about the emotional tie to it and everything. Like, what do you think has been, because as much as you try to keep yourself away from it, like, the most frustrating thing when you're talking about the juveniles, what has been the most frustrating thing for you? Like, if you could do more, what would it sort of look like?
So they have, I guess, some kind of mentoring program. I've never stepped in it to see what exactly they do. But when you talk about rehabilitation, I don't think it's necessarily just talking to guys about what they should change. When they come out, I want them to have some kind of skill, because a lot of these things are for money. That a lot of these crimes that are being committed is for some kind of monetary gain. So I would like to equip the juveniles, the men, women, whatever, with some kind of skill so that when they get out, they can do something with their hands or some kind of knowledge that they can then put forth into making some kind of money. So that's what I would do if I was given the reins to control, the mentoring process with the juveniles. I would just give them more skills, because I'm not really sure what they're learning. They don't talk about it too much. They don't boast about the program like it's changing a whole lot in their lives. So therefore, I'm thinking it may not be doing much, because if my life is being changed by somebody, I'm telling the whole world, like, hey, everyone need to be in this program, or everybody need to talk to this person.
Well, it sounds like they need to have those meetings in the cafeteria.
So, do you see a lot of revolving guys, like they leave out
and come right back,
and then a couple months? Well, first, how long have you? What would be I've only been there since March. I think I started in April. Yeah, because I was in the academy for about 2 months. So I started in April. I've probably seen maybe 5 guys get released and then come right back. And here's another thing. I'm glad you said that. And I fought myself over this, whether or not I think probation or parole is good, because a lot of guys constantly come back. Even my coworker tells me all the time, for violating parole. And it's like the criteria for violating, you can violate parole for snoring, like for anything, for oversleeping, like, and they're going to lock you up for that. So even though, again, I can't give advice, I would honestly tell someone, hey, if you can just get your time all in this building, do that. Because when you get out, it's so easy to violate. And again, right, because they don't give these guys any kind of tools, they're going to go right back to what got them in there. So that's definitely something that's very frustrating. Like, guys are constantly coming back from that. But as far as the ones that I've had, like, personal, interaction with, probably about five or six guys I've seen come back within the span that I've been there.
Okay. I have a question. So how do you mentally disconnect from this? Because I'm sure you hear a lot of different stories that, kind of hit you emotionally, mentally. How do you disconnect from that and go home to your girlfriend?
So actually, I talked to her a lot about it. She actually doesn't mind, which I'm very grateful for, because a lot of people, spouses, best friends, or whoever, don't want to hear the stories that we hear, because a lot of it can be very traumatic on, an everyday basis. So I talked to her a lot. I definitely work out a lot. I coach a track team every Tuesday and Thursday as well. And that's a great thing that I do to get my mind off of any and everything. I read, being a librarian, and I play my bass guitar every now and then. So it's a couple different things that I do to just take my mind off of the stories that I may hear. But yeah, definitely people need to have some kind of outlet, especially when you don't have those that are willing to listen to the story that you have to go through. Well, so you have to find some other kind of outlets.
Are you allowed to threaten the inmates? I mean, I'm just saying because people can be disrespectful in some situations, absolutely. And sometimes you might have to, you say you're working out. I mean, you can't just work out and lift books. No, you gotta practice your hook shot too.
So here's the thing that we focus on at the jail, right? We don't focus so much on the physical strength or just the threatening of people. Mm-hmm. We are taught to use IPC skills, which is interpersonal communication. Okay. So I de-escalate a lot of situations. Maybe not really at me, but just when they're arguing with each other or CEOs or something like that, I'll have to talk my way out of it rather. Understanding why are you frustrated? All right, cool. Now we know what the problem is. What can I do to help you calm down? If I can't do anything, we got to figure out some kind of solution together because you're being disruptive. We can't have that. I don't want to see you get locked up, go to solitary, things like that. So unless somebody had to threaten them, I just talk to them. Like they're regular people that go through jail life, And
they're pretty respectable. Yeah. So you never really have to bring out the threats.
I've honestly, no one has ever disrespected me. Like, nah. I mean, they used to call me out my name, but that's because they didn't know my name. Like, one dude, he like, "What's up, Lil Wayne? What's up, Shorty?" And I learned very quickly they need to call you by your name because they'll call you anything in the book. So they call me whatever. Like, my name is Mr. Peteet. Mm-hmm. Address me as such, and we can be fine. Is that understood? We understand each other, and I had to be very firm because I'm a little short. I'm like 5'4".
You say you're 5'4"?
A lot of guys. Yeah, man.
You look taller in pictures. On, though.
Look, that's cool. Look, that's the game, right? When I'm talking to the inmates, I had to, be more assertive because they already look at me as like I'm a kid. I already don't have any facial hair. So it's like, I got to have a very commanding voice and presence when I'm speaking to these guys to earn their respect. Because I'm new. I'm in their house, remember? But I quickly remind them, this is my house now. Like, I'm not doing what you all say. You're going to listen to me. We're going to be cooperative with each other. And we're going to have a smooth time for these next 8 hours that I'm here.
So you almost have to take on some characteristics of a prison mentality, or I don't want to say prison mentality, but jailhouse rules apply.
I take it like as an officer. So I did go through the Correctional Officer Academy. So I did everything that they did, the PT, how to handcuff somebody. Only thing I didn't do was the OC spray. I wasn't getting pepper spray. Like I wasn't with that.
Okay.
But other than that, I did everything. So I kind of switched into officer mode. Even though I'm a civilian, I know how they work. So I understand to get these inmates attention, respect, and all that, I kind of got to switch to that mode. So how I am in the jail is definitely not how I am like outside. But no, I lied. Let me switch that. Because in the jail, you have to be so aware of your surroundings, which is why I say you don't want to get yourself too emotionally involved with some guys because then you'll kind of be relaxed. And that's when they get you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of always on guard. I'm always looking around my surroundings and things of that nature. And I do that when I'm outside. Like, I'm just so skeptical of almost everything now. And I don't like it all the time, but I get it. This is something I've developed while being at the jail. Okay. So I kind of bring that home with me.
Okay.
That's a really, really good thing there, James. I'm glad you shared. Do you want to mention your mentoring program?
Oh, yeah. So I'm at the first library that I worked at in District Heights, Maryland. And when I get the job, 2016, I was invited to sit in on a boys reading program ran by the 100 Black Men in Prince George's County. And when I first got in it, I didn't plan on doing anything with it because I didn't really care for kids that much, at least I thought. But once I started realizing what kind of shape we were in as young Black boys in the reading and the mentoring shit, I figured, you know what? Why not? I'm already here for the next 3 hours. I might as well give them my time and be excited about it. And so as I was going through the program, I just saw a lot more issues that I said, I need to be this. Like, these kids see me as like an older brother, some of them. And I'm not going to say, well, I'll just stick with older brother figure. And they respond to me sometimes more than they would the gentlemen that were older than me, like in their 40s and 50s. And so from then I realized I have a voice with these kids. Like, they listen to me. They like my mannerisms, the way I speak to them. I'm very down to earth. They don't feel like I'm judging them whenever they tell me their problems or things of that nature. So 2016 is when I think I found my calling, in life, which is to help Black boys. Of course, through reading and comprehension first and foremost, but the mentorship is what I always try to slide in there. Things they don't get at home or at school.
Okay, that's a great program, a great way to affect our community. We gotta step away from the mic here a second. We gotta take a little commercial break. So we gonna join us on the other side of this break here in 1, 2, 3. You know.
Welcome to the Everything and Nothing podcast with Lynn and Kim. Join us as we discuss the latest in everything from entertainment and current events to the craziness that is our real life.
Let's laugh, let's live, let's talk about it. New episode every Tuesday on the Defy Life Podcast Network. And remember, if you're not defying life, then what are you doing? Lynn and Kim.
Yeah, we're back on.
We're back.
James,
We're back.
you
Yes,
still
sir.
with us?
I'm here.
Okay, we're gonna lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah, we got a little deep.
Yeah, we got a little deep. We found out it's kind of heavy.
Right.
Well, James, we're gonna
Head back to that
continue to talk
proposal.
about relationships.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Yusuf? You
Headed
wanna-
back to that proposal.
Okay, we're gonna go back to proposal.
That's what I wanted to talk
Oh,
about.
Okay.
This movie proposal.
How'd you know
my
she
goodness.
may be the one? We don't know if she is the
was
one.
like-
But how do we start realizing somebody's the one?
How do we start realizing it? So I can speak for myself.
Okay.
When
Be
I
careful
realized
now.
that, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
trying.
Okay, be
to
careful,
my
brother.
word.
No, I don't want to misguide you.
Tiptoe around that minefield.
Yeah.
Go ahead. The floor is yours, sir.
Like I said, once you hang out with a person long enough, and again, once you have the important conversations where you talk about money and, you know, upbringing, parenting styles, thoughts on family, you know, everything that falls under that umbrella, and if those align with your vision for how you want to see you all go, and also how that person makes you feel. So I know when I was in Philadelphia for this business conference called BullyCon, run by a guy named Dave Anderson, one of my coaches. And throughout that whole weekend, when I tell you she couldn't have been more supportive. Like, you would have thought she created the game. Like, she was so on it. She was doing anything and everything that I needed. Even when I was falling behind, she picked up the slack. And she's always been like that. But I just saw it to like another level during this conference. And I said to myself at that point, I was like, you know what? This has to be it. Like, I do believe in the Lord. I do believe in divine intervention. I just think, like, sometimes feelings just speak to you, and it's like, this is it. Like, that was the moment that I realized it. But of course, we're still having conversation and learning more about each other. But it's a combination of things. But I definitely think you have to see how you all gel on morals, values, and the upbringing of yourself and where you see yourself going in the future in order to even start thinking about whether this man or woman may be the one for you.
Okay.
Wow. Nique, you gonna tell us how you know the one's the one? Are you gonna hold off?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to tell us. You gonna tell us your secret?
No.
Yourself? You?
What you about to say? Go ahead.
Are you already married? Or which one of you all are already married?
Neither.
Nobody in the room. All
No
of us are
one.
single.
Whoa.
I was about to ask. So when did you know? But-
Single as in not married.
Yeah. Okay. Single as in.
Okay.
not-
Yeah, very
Everybody
clear.
has a significant other of some
Yeah,
sort.
I have been married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any questions for yourself?
Yeah, I was married for 3 years.
I don't know if you want to question him, but go ahead.
No,
Nobody else is listening.
Really? I just want to know, when was the moment that you realized that your wife was the one for you?
That's probably the toughest question because I never had that moment. I didn't have that moment until my current situation. So, and I think the moment for me is when the person that you think this person is usually not someone you think you want. The person that comes in and changes everything about how you think, and the person that makes you want to be better. And I think that's
very true.
That's my realization of, that's when I hit mine with my current situation. It's just when the person makes you want to be better.
Shouldn't you have friends for
Absolutely.
that?
Huh?
Shouldn't you have friends for that?
I have great friends. I have CL.
No, I'm just saying. 'Cause
I'm so proud of myself right now.
Yeah.
I just want to hand
Yeah,
clap.
wow.
A hand
What? No, he
clap.
asked me a legitimate question. That is my
solid.
legitimate.
Solid
Good
answer.
That is my
answer.
legitimate answer.
Solid
Yeah,
answer.
I'm proud.
Okay.
I mean, I think that a lot of people, they put, hey, well, this is the person for me because this is the person I've always wanted to be with. But that person takes you as you are and continues to keep you that way. The person that makes you want to do something different. That's the person that's the person that is.
Well, James, I'm gonna add my 2 cents in on
Yeah, go ahead,
advice
CL.
about knowing if somebody's the one. I would advise no one to get married for love.
Yeah, no, I don't. I believe that.
Thank you.
I think you should like the person.
Simply for love, you mean?
Yeah, not simply. No. If it's just love,
Yeah,
don't do
got
it.
you.
Because you can be in love in a weekend.
Got you.
Fall out of love.
Thank
Sometimes you fall in love twice in one weekend. So,
Speak for yourself.
yes, I mean it can happen. It can happen, but you should. I don't think you should ever marry for just love, because love isn't enough. And
It's an emotion.
yeah, it's an emotion. And you said something really important, that she's somebody you can talk to. And if you find somebody you can kind of talk to, and I'm gonna use a word that I don't believe in, but y'all vibe.
The vibe.
Yeah,
The vibe.
Yeah, once y'all vibe, as you kids say.
Kids.
Kids, as in
Lord.
younger than me.
Okay, I'll take that.
Oh,
You know when you're not capping. You know,
I don't even know what that means.
well, I hear it. I know what it means, but I can't say that I use it regularly. But no cap, no cap. You know.
Oh my goodness!
And once you stop capping, you can fall in love.
You can fall.
You can fall in love, and then you can start capping again, because it can be present, past,
Yeah.
or all of that in one word. You didn't know that, did you, Nique?
No, I did not.
Capital C or K.
Oh,
Oh my goodness!
Depends on if you banging or not.
Yeah,
You
no
know.
cap.
But that's a whole nother show there.
whole nother
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
That's another. That's
Is
another.
falling in love a good thing, though? You think, or should it be more like I said, of a growing into it? Like I don't think of love at first sight.
growing into it, because the only
Yeah,
thing you
I
can
would say
fall into is a hole.
yep.
You
And
can't
they
fall
might
in
not
love.
catch you.
No, yeah.
and I
Exactly.
think that's my issue with that phrase is the wording. And
Falling?
the power that there is in words. When you say falling in love, it's almost like you said, falling. It's
Yeah.
into something.
You don't wanna fall in love.
That's tough to get out of.
Yeah, it's like an
Absolutely.
You know,
addiction. Like
it's-
you've become obsessed with someone so much to the point where they could just do anything.
And I don't get it. Like you may fall and they might, and they're not, and they haven't.
They haven't fell in love
They-
yet.
They haven't caught you.
Y'all not in the same hole.
Well, we need to ask Brother James an important question here.
Okay, Brother James.
Are these feelings mutual?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Again, because I don't want to be that only person that feels something. Because I've been that guy before, and I have friends that have been those people, and I'm like, I'm not trying to deal with this. So let me ask, are these feelings mutual, or it's like a one-sided relationship? You know,
Oh,
I think there is definitely a mutual feeling, and like I said, it's all a process.
Yeah. How long has it been?
It ain't a year and 10 months.
Whoa, Playboy.
Yep.
Ooh, you
Very, very
speeding.
short. I know.
Ready to
No,
pop-
he's not.
pop that
He
question.
knows what he
See,
wants.
But wait, I didn't say I'm proposing tomorrow.
No,
So
you
I
didn't
don't
say
want
that.
you
I
to
get
think-
it.
Hey, but you know the path you on.
This is a private conversation
Yeah.
here. She won't ever hear
Right,
this.
exactly.
I will. We hope she hears it.
Yeah, no one's listening.
Yeah,
But
nobody's
like,
listening.
you got to see a path for yourself at the end of the day. Like now, like I said, you know, as opposed to me back in like maybe high school or something, I don't get relationships that I think we're not going to be together in a year or so. Like I think that just may be a waste of time. Like if I'm getting with someone, like, all right, I see enough in them that I may want to pursue this even more.
Okay.
Not just she cute, she be good around my arm. Let me go ahead and flaunt her around. Like that's corny to me. And I
Okay.
try to tell kids that all the time. Like that, you don't want to play with these girls' hearts, and vice versa. So I'm sure women do the same thing. Like you don't want to do that because that just damages the person in the long run.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Now, did you have good relationship examples, or do you have a couple that may inspire you and the missus?
That inspire me. Well, my parents.
Well, that's
were
a
both
two-part
married,
question.
but- So I had my parents.
Okay.
That's a great example. They are divorced now, but like I said, I had a very good household.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely saw what love was like with them. But as far as like externally one besides my parents, not really. I didn't pay much attention to it. But I see more happy couples now as I'm getting older, like, 24 and up. I'm seeing a lot more, and just listening to them as to what makes long relationships work, and it's kind of sacrifices that are needed to make them work.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up with it, of course, throughout high school and stuff, and I'm seeing a lot more of it now.
Okay.
There's no particular couple that I look for. Like, I'm trying to be like them, because every relationship is completely different.
They are. Most relationships are pretty good until they put their phone down.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, once the phone goes down, then the real relationship starts.
Right. So, like, now what do we do?
Yeah. What do we do? What do we do now? Well,
so do you all have like a lot of conversations about your future together? Do y'all actually like sit down, talk about your goals and your future?
Yeah, we do it most of the time, like when we're eating.
Stop that, James. Don't keep doing that with her.
Why not?
Really? Why not?
Just gotta hold it tight to the chest and just let your actions.
Guy.
Don't talk to it too much. Women hold on to words way longer.
Yep.
Than men do.
Oh, that is a fact.
Yes.
That's definitely.
I can agree with that.
Yes. So you just gotta be.
Okay.
You gotta be easy.
Be easy.
Okay. Understood. Take that into consideration.
Yeah. Be easy. But you.
Okay.
You didn't have any problem just having this conversation with her. Just kind of.
Nah, because remember, I was the one that was afraid to. But as I started to have them, she was so open to it. It's like, I'm here to talk about whatever. Like, she's pretty much an open book for the most part. So once I realized she was on board, I'm like, cool, I got free reign to ask whatever I want. You know?
Wow.
So we just, and a lot of it sparks off of social. We'll see like social media posts, like if your man did this, or it'll show something that happened crazy, and she'll just come up and say, hey, what you think about this? And it's something in a relationship worth like. So that's what most of our conversations come up with.
Well, has social media played a role in the helping of your relationship or hurting your relationship? Either or?
It definitely hasn't hurt it at all.
So you hadn't gotten in trouble liking too many pictures or anything?
Nah, we don't even do that. Like, I mean, I don't get jealous. I don't get jealous. I don't think she gets jealous because I mean, she would have no need to like. People black male, black men, we cool, we do we supposed to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Black men don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat.
Yeah, we don't. I didn't want to say. I know what she was going to say. I'm like, let me not go too crazy.
Yeah. You're not crazy.
You're not crazy.
That's on brand.
All right, cool. All right, black men don't cheat. All right, let's get it out there.
Oh my.
No. And if we did, it was an accident.
Yeah, it was definitely.
I mean
It had to be the woman's fault.
It was.
Oh,
It is.
Yeah.
But I don't get upset when she because she likes all of Wale. Remember that conversation we had about Wale? She loves Wale.
Oh, she loves Wale.
Yes.
So
she will leave. She probably leave me right now if Wale asked her. I think she would.
Oh wow. Wow. So you have one of those shea butter ladies. Okay, shea. Okay, I didn't know what you was. Okay, shea butter. Okay.
She loves her some Wale, and I guess it's because of dark skin, got the locks. I got locks too, by the way.
Yeah. So you her version.
Yeah, I guess. But look,
you James A.
I guess. It's like Wale's one. I'm like 1B.
Okay.
Like I'm right beneath Wale.
Okay.
It's all good because we don't keep Wale away from her.
Yes, we're gonna definitely do that because you know how he is.
I don't want no smoke.
Yeah, no smoke with Wale.
yeah, because he's a nice, smooth talker.
Wale?
Yeah.
Oh wow, we won't even get on Wale. He's a complainer.
No, he is not. Oh my God, I love Wale.
I'm sure you do.
Dope.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
All right. If you like whiny rap, it's cool. Some of his raps are good
whiny.
though. Some of them are good. Some of them are good.
And you can relate.
Okay.
That's so we said.
I love his records. I do like his records.
Yeah, but that's the whole DC vibe, right?
Yeah, that's that vibe.
Absolutely.
James,
DC love Wale.
James, what about that Mombo Sauce?
What about? You never had it?
I had it. What you feel
I've
about
never had it.
You never had it?
No.
I like it.
Oh my Lord.
I like it
oh my
too.
goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. Mombo Sauce is definitely the sauce to get. It's a specific one, the Capital City Mombo Sauce.
Yeah.
Developed by a couple. That's the one that you really need to. And of course, everyone has their own little burger Mombo Sauce. But the Capital City one is definitely my vibe as of right now. That's the sauce that I go to.
Okay.
So the Capital City Mambo Sauce is what I gotta.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one I've had it before.
I gotta get on that Capital City Mambo Sauce. What do you put it on?
You put it on everything, man.
You put it on everything.
Everything.
People put it on French fries. I don't.
Really?
I don't like that.
On every. I'm gonna put it on wings.
Yeah, I had it on wings.
Fried.
Yeah.
Put it on wings.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well,
with the
James,
half with the fries.
Well, James, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for joining us today.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we're certainly glad to have you.
Yeah, it was a joy to have you. I guess I'll go ahead and be the one to wrap it up. We appreciate our guest today, James Peteet. And the Couple Up game. Make sure you go out and get yours. It's your girl, Nique Cruz.
CL Butler.
And your boy, Yusuf. Once again, we want to thank you for listening. We also want to thank our guest, James Peteet. Remember that you can catch us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, DefyLifePods.com, Spotify, and anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. If you would like to leave a comment or a Dear Nique, email us at rsp@GoDefyLife.com or hit us on our hotline, 843-310-8637. Follow us on all social media platforms at RELSTAT Podcast. That's RELSTAT Podcast. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and 5-star rate. Also, give us a review for Nique, CL, and Yusuf. We are out.
What's happening, world? Enjoy listening to podcasts? Check out the Defy Life Podcast Network for a vast array of podcast content. Whether you love sports, relationships, comedy, current events, comics, or just casual banter, the Defy Life Podcast Network has something for you. Also, if you're thinking of starting your own podcast, already have one that needs more exposure, feel free to contact us, the Defy Life Podcast Network, on GoDefyLife.com and everywhere your favorite podcasts are available.